Okay, we're back for our final segment on All in a Week Sports, and last weekend Cody was really a exciting weekend, and it wasn't just football. I happened to have the pleasure of covering the Red Dragon Invitational at Long Point State Park, and there were 21 schools from Cattaraugus, Chautauqua counties, as far south as Pittsburgh, as far north as a couple of Erie County schools. And what I came away from that assignment was the fact that there are some really talented runners in our neck of the woods, and certainly Maple Grove, again, and we just talked about Maple Grove football, but now I can talk a little bit about Maple Grove cross country, which frankly doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. They had an outstanding performance. The girls, who, by the way, are ranked second in the first poll of the year in the state rankings, won it in a landslide, I think by 30 points, and they had 5 girls in the top 10. Just an amazing program, and they are going to be good for a long time because they have a couple 8th graders, a 9th grader, a sophomore, and I think a junior among their top 5. The Maple Grove boys also did well. They finished second overall, and I have to get my glasses on here to read some of my notes so I don't forget anybody, but Michael Pepe of Maple Grove won the large school title. Even though Maple Grove is a small school in numbers, they ran with the large schools, and he ended up winning by a nice little margin. So the Red Dragons continue to impress with a new coach, and Steve Madison takes over for Doc Rapole, who built the program from the ground up, and Doc will still have his hands in the program, but Steve has taken over as the head coach. Interestingly enough, a young lady from Cattaraugus County, Abby Gostomski, who is our Post-Journal track athlete of the year, had an unbelievable showing in the small school girls race. She won her race in the small schools by a minute over her sister, and she had the best time of any girl, regardless of classification at Long Point. So she is going to have a great season. And team-wise, the Gwanda boys and the Silver Creek Forestville girls won small school division championships. So Cody, it was a really nice day, and in many ways the weather cooperated, thank goodness, and I've never been so warm at Long Point in the fall as I was on a very warm day on the shores of Chautauqua Lake. So that was really a nice way to spend a Saturday, and I'm not so sure at the end of October for the county at Bemis Point Golf Course I'll be quite as comfortable. But anyway, the cross-country experience was a good one.
And along with cross country, the New York State Sports Writers Association recently released its first state rankings for boys and girls soccer as well. And there's several area teams that we can highlight there. On the boys' side, the Randolph Cardinals, who have gotten off to a 4-0-1 start this season, are number 6 in Class C, and Ryan Shippert's gotten off to a tremendous start for the Cardinals this year. He already has 8 goals. Also on the boys' side, Allegheny Limestone is 12th in Class C, and they've gotten off to a 5-0-1 start this season. And the final area boys team that we have ranked on the boys' side is Pine Valley, who's number 5 in Class D. And they're off to a 2-1-0 start this season, and Tyler West has gotten off to a great start for Pine Valley with 4 goals. And then in terms of girls' teams who are ranked in the state, Allegheny Limestone's number 7 in Class C. They've started the season 3-0, and they've actually outscored their opponents 21-1 so far this year, so you can't get off to a much better start than that. Ellicottville's number 8 in Class D. They're coming off an outstanding 8-0 win over Franklinville on Monday, and they have a current record of 3-1-1. And then the final area girls team that we have ranked is Faulkner in Class C. They're 5-0, and they've actually outscored their opponents so far this season 41-3. And Amber Mysick leads the way with 12 goals. And the Lady Golden Falcons are actually hosting Maple Grove on Wednesday, and Maple Grove's also undefeated this season at 5-0 as well. So that should definitely be an intriguing matchup in the Chautauqua Cattaraugus Athletic Association West Division. So it's not just football, as Scott mentioned before. There's a lot of other area athletes and sports that are very talented and having a great deal of success so far in 2016.
And real quick, for those who are interested in maybe attending a high school football game this weekend, Jamestown hopes to get off the schneid with with a game against Orchard Park, which will be a daunting task. The Red Raiders are off to an uncharacteristic 0-2 start. That game will be 7 o'clock at Strider Field. As we mentioned, Maple Grove will be hosting Clymer Sherman Panama, and Southwestern, which under J.U. Kalkrick is 2-0, they'll be hosting Cleveland Hill in a big Class C battle. And finally, another game of note, which should be interesting, we have Franklinville-Ellicottville traveling to Frewsburg. Frewsburg trying to rebound from their loss to Maple Grove last week.
And that's actually a rematch of the Class D Section 6 title game last year at then Ralph Wilson Stadium, so that should certainly be an intriguing matchup.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week.